words like that one, Islamic terrorism. And number two, I want to mention about the use of the word Allahu Akbar, especially by those extremists or terrorists or oppressors before they commit a crime. And at the same time, I would like to condone the those people in the church, innocent people in the church, who lost their lives. And I want to condemn the action that took place in France. Perhaps it was yesterday, but we heard the news today in the morning. Again, it is a terrorist act for sure that's happening. But last night, if you remember, I was speaking about one word that has been hijacked, and it is a very essential word to our belief. That was a jihadist word, if you remember. And jihad to us as Muslims, it is something very essential. In what many people out there in the media portray the word jihad, or understand the word jihad to mean, or explain to the people. Jihad for us, it's a very sacred word. It is an essential word in our belief. That does not talk about fighting, but it has other things related to it as well. But that's not what I want to talk today. I want to talk about this word that is being used often, Islamic terrorism or Islamic extremism. Now, even though we as Muslims constantly keep repeating, keep saying that this is offensive to Muslims when you use the word Islamic terrorism, it is offensive to all the Muslims who follow this religion, who follow Islam. It is offensive. And these people, many of them who are using such words, they are aware of this, but yet they choose to offend people regardless. They choose to offend millions and millions in this country right here in the United States and elsewhere in the world, wherever there are people who are using such terms like that. Now, we know Islam is not connected to terrorism at all. Islam is a religion of peace, justice, right? These would be two important components of our religion: peace and justice. That's what Islam is. And the moment you put a word as extremism, Islamic extremism or Islamic terrorism, you are defeating the meaning or the purpose of why Islam came here to begin with. Islam came in this world to eradicate extremism. Islam came in this world to eradicate, to remove terrorism. Islam came in this world to establish peace and establish justice. And now, because somebody out there is going to commit acts of terrorism, why should you connect these two words together, Islamic terrorism? Why would you do that when Islam is against terrorism? And when I'm telling you as a leader, and thousands of people like me around the world are telling you that this makes no sense and this goes against our teachings and this is against our values, therefore, please don't use this word again because this is offensive. But as I said, unfortunately, many of these individuals, including the president and many other individuals out there, use these words intentionally in order to bring chaos and in order to offend intentionally Muslims. So we have to be aware. We have to be aware of these words, why they're using. What is the reason behind the use of certain words? As I was hearing today, there were reporters who, when it comes to describing what happened today in France, which is horrible, and it is unacceptable, and we condemn it, as we said, and every sane person, every religious person, regardless of what religion they are, they would condemn such an action. And I don't need to go into details of that, because everybody knows what is justice and what is non-justice, what is extremism and terrorism, and what is justice and what is peace. But what got my attention during their speech was the use of the word Allahu Akbar, identifying the murderer by saying Allahu Akbar. These are the words that he used before he committed the murder. And again, I'm not going to judge them at this point, that they really have a bad intention behind that. But I'm going to say this: when the public is unaware of what Allahu Akbar stands for, and when the public is unaware of the fact that Muslims constantly use this word on daily basis during their prayers and during their Eid celebrations, and when they see something amazing, they use these words constantly, Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, and other religions use these words as well. Non-Muslims who do not know much about Islam, and that's millions and millions and billions of people. I'm talking about not just knowing a Muslim, but really knowing the use of these words. Right? I'm saying we are using these words on daily basis many times. Only during the prayer we use it how many times? Maybe 10, 15, 20 times just during the prayer. Let alone other times. After the prayer, Allahu Akbar, we say 33 times, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So now, when the public out there does not know why Muslims use this, and in what context Muslims use the word Allahu Akbar, they will take this out of the context, and anytime they hear a Muslim saying the word Allahu Akbar, is going to resonate to them as an extremist act or as a terrorist act. So if they hear the Imam saying during the prayer, right before the prayer, Allahu Akbar, I have to get scared because something may happen right now. Why? Because they have seen and they have heard reporters reporting cases of murdering these crazy people, murdering other people, using these words out of context. And now all of a sudden, in their mind, there is this idea that these words are related to terrorist acts. And whenever they hear it, they're going to be afraid. So this is the impact now that it causes in society. When these reporters, these media sources, they use these words and they do not elaborate at all. They don't bring maybe somebody who is qualified to talk about Islam, or at least be concerned about it as a media. Why? Even if that's true, right? Even if that person used those words before committing the murder, you as a person in charge of this media station or channel, whatever it is, you would have that moral responsibility of at least explaining to people that this is what Muslims normally use this for, and this is what it is used. But unfortunately, out of context, this is what this terrorist has used these words. Explanation like that needs to happen in order for people to understand what's happening. Because another person, hearing another person saying Allahu Akbar, and then all of a sudden running away from that person. And that person can be a good Muslim, can be a good citizen. Or you don't want people in a gathering saying the word Allahu Akbar, starting the prayer, and somebody with a gun saying, you know what, these people are about to commit a terrorist act, so you know what, I'm going to shoot them before they shoot us. These words can have, if they're not explained, if they're let like that, they can have tremendous complication in society. And crime can happen because of this misunderstanding. So, I just want you to spread this word. I want you to talk to the others as well. And to explain what is wrong and what these people are doing, whether intentionally or unintentionally. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those who bring peace to our communities and societies everywhere. May He make us among those who stand for the true teachings of Islam and spread those true teachings of Islam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala erase from the face of this earth, through us and through better people as well, extremism, injustice, terrorism that exists out there, not only by these so-called Muslims, but by so many different fabrics of society who commit terrorism on a daily basis. Domestic violence is terrorism as well. When the husband kills his wife, and domestic violence cases, crimes, killings, murderings are happening on daily basis. On daily basis. And very few people talk about that. So we pray for the best, we pray for the peace, as I said. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala